Despite not being the intention of yesterday's update, Black Ops Cold War had a bunch of stuff found in the game files that were much more than just quality of life fixes. Of those things, there were plenty of items from Season 1 coming as of next week. So today we're going to be breaking down what we learned about what you can look forward to with next week's inaugural season for Black Ops Cold War and everything in between. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to anything that we found out of this stuff in the game files? Personally, for me, seeing what was out there when it was, I'm pretty excited to see these cosmetic items that we see coming within Season 1. Treyarch looks to be bringing the heat right out of the gate here at that, and that's something I can get on board for. But I'd love to hear what you guys are interested in and what you're looking forward to with Season 1, but let me know down in the comments. As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button. We're on that road to 400,000 subscribers, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related as we ramp up to Season 1 and beyond. That said, let's talk about these leaked items. So first things first, as always, a little disclaimer. As with all data mined content, it's still intellectual property of Activision, Treyarch, and Raven until the official launch date of the 16th. As a result, I'm not able to feature the images or footage here in this video, which I do apologize for that. I'll do my very best to describe everything in as best a manner as possible, but additionally, the information provided was pulled and data mined by the Twitter account Cold War News, which has since either been deleted or taken down, which unfortunately this time around though, because we can't show anything and their account is no longer there, I don't have a redirect in which I can send you to see this stuff firsthand, but if I can find anything between recording this and when this video goes live, I'll drop it down below in the description. But that said, let's talk about the content at hand, and one final time, even though it's kind of obvious given the nature of the discussion here with this, a final spoiler warning, there's a lot ahead with Season 1 content. But honestly, we've got a few widespread areas to discuss across weapons, blueprints, maps, operator skins, vehicle skins, prestige-related items, shop stuff. There's a lot here, so let's start at the beginning. Perhaps one of the biggest things to me, I think, that comes with a new season is that of new weapons. But these new weapons we actually saw coming in a few locations already. We saw the marketing material all the way back dating to pre-launch with the first roadmap. We saw the first image there of a new weapon, which was the Striker and the Groza in the new weapons tile that was detailed with that one. The initial Season 1 intro cinematic also showed off a little bit of those weapons as well, but strangely enough, these are already in the game currently to which you can reference them. They're not there that you can play with them. We'll talk about this in a secret changes video either tomorrow or Friday, but the Season 1 calling cards are already in the game, including ones that are for the weapons of the MAC-10, Street Sweeper, which is the Striker, and the Groza. But what was data mined is the in-game imagery, likely associated with the Battle Pass. They're the close-ups like you had in Modern Warfare's weapon panels while you hovered over the tier that it was assigned to. But interestingly enough, there are also kill feed icons for the likes of a Sledgehammer, Katana, and even what looks like a rock, or considering the upcoming holiday themes, perhaps a snowball. These may not be 100% considered initially when you think about new weapons coming, but it actually doesn't surprise me that we'll see more of these. We had snowballs in Black Ops 4 and Blackout, and we have a Katana and Sledgehammer seen in other mentions in this video in relation to shop items and finishing moves. So it kind of all makes sense that they'd be coming with Season 1. As to if they're organic unlocks or if they're shop-only specifics, who knows, but weaponry all the same. Blueprint-wise, we see a little bit more than what we had with the last data mined content that we talked about, but I'll say it again like we said in the intro, Treyarch brought the heat with these. I love what we see out of these, and I'm excited to see where the art direction goes as the year continues. But firstly, we see a DMR variant with a blue, red, and orange paint job on it, with a sort of all-seeing eye design. There's an AK-74U variant that is a gold and pink accent with an anime design, so those are returning within Cold War, but the colorway is great on this one. There's a Krig variant, which is probably my favorite of what we've seen so far, in which this is a sort of royal-looking design. It's got a matte black handle and stock, a matte black magazine with a golden trim. The body and the barrel extension is actually a white marble design with golden trim on that, and a slight chain hanging from the barrel to the iron sights. So this one just looks really awesome if you ask me. There's a Tundra digital green camo pattern that has a sort of plexus net design on the stock. There's a sleek metallic black and golden finish MP5, very similar to, I think it was the finisher bundle in Modern Warfare, if my memory serves me correctly. So much to the point that it's cool, but I don't know if I'd pick it up in Cold War and then subsequently Warzone because they are so similar. There's a metallic blue and black AK-47 with a yellow, purple, and pink lightning bolt, which is a pretty cool contrast to it. There's a purple and pink anime RPD, which looks awesome. And then there's another Tundra variant that has an orange, yellow, and pink vaporwave design to it, putting us heavily into those 80 vibes. But like I said, honestly, I love these. I'm a huge camo guy because cosmetically, weapon camos are the only thing in a first-person shooter that you see 100% of the time in-game from your perspective. So if I'm going to care about cosmetics, it's going to be something that I want to see, and with those designs all the time. That's at least how I feel, but I hope that these are all Battle Pass items so that additional payment isn't required, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens or not. Next, let's move on over to the maps here. We got a little bit with this on top of what we already knew of and what was existing here with this, but we got Nuketown Christmas in a few formats. Firstly, we saw the intro loading screen here for this. It's the same as what we have in the regular Nuketown, but it's just thematically changed, as you'd imagine, with the rest of the map. The outside decor, there's a little bit of the inside views, but the map overall looks pretty cool. Outside looks fine. It's definitely bright enough to see, but admittedly indoors, that's where you might have a little bit of less than ideal circumstances because the corners are really dark inside. But this is 100% that special twist that Treyarch described will be coming when Nuketown 24/7 returns in Season 1. I'd put money on that one. But we got a few looks at the overviews for a few maps as well, though names are not necessarily known. We have that mall map, which looks really big, honestly, taking a look at the top-down mini-map perspective here of it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is put into combined arms and perhaps sectioned off to be a strike map as 6v6, but the overview looks massive compared to other maps like Satellite, Checkmate, and the likes. Raid was also included in this, to which the overview is identical to that of Black Ops 2's, so much so that the placement of trees, the placement of cars, it's identical to the original. So likely just reskinned here for the upcoming season. There was a 2v2 map showcase from the top down here, in which that looked like there was the rocket map in the format that went along with it, but then we saw a Dirty Bomb map, which here's the thing. This thing is massive naturally, but the part that I'm the most interested in about is from maybe your perspective, it doesn't matter so much, but I think it's just incredibly cool. A couple of months back, we talked about a Warzone leak that there was supposedly going to be a new map being developed for Black Ops Cold War. That still potentially could be the case because right now there is that rumor that we'll get a new map for Warzone and the traditional Battle Royale experience, independent of what we see with Rebirth Island coming in Season 1. There's that rumor we'll get something around March or April, around that 1 year mark of when Warzone was out. But we discussed earlier in the year how Alpine and Ruka were directly from that leaked map. Not just like kind of looking like it, but rather identical, pulled straight from it. This once again is another piece of that map that was leaked, exactly from it. So that theory that we had from ages ago that either this makes up the new Warzone map that we could see coming in March or whenever a new one ends up coming for Battle Royale, or that it was planned to be the Battle Royale map for Cold War, assuming that Warzone didn't take off as it did and there wasn't as much invested into Infinity Ward's version of it, that would have been the map for Warzone, and then this then got repurposed. I think that theory now holds a little bit more weight because this is now the third Fireteam map that we have that was directly from that leak. So just some cool trivia here, honestly, if you ask me, but this one looks to incorporate a lot of water in this one. There's an island in and of its own within this map, so if I were to guess based upon that leaked Warzone map from months ago, this is some sort of sanitation or desalination plant, but this will then have some good use for all types of vehicles, your wake runners, your armed boats, as well as the land vehicles you already see existing in current Dirty Bomb maps. Now, as for operator skins, moving on past the maps here, we see some for existing operators. We see that Woods has a Christmas sweater outfit coming within Season 1, which makes me wonder if we'll get him as a free holiday cosmetic, or maybe he's a part of the seasonal battle pass. Woods also has a skin that, if you don't look closely, you may miss it. To me, the way I see this one coming off, and the best that I can probably describe it as, is the sort of 80s futuristic theme maybe seen in like Total Recall, but instead of a younger Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's an older face with the white spiked hair instead of what you maybe see in that movie. But it comes along with that 80s themed white leather jacket and some red tinted aviators. Pretty cool looking skin. We have Adler in a cool, almost looking Western style skin, where it's an old Western cowboy hat, a scarf, and then a leather jacket. We have Park in a more color blast British Forces uniform, a blue jacket underneath a vest with a sort of lavender color beret. We have a few variations of Sims in his Bonnie hat and jacket, but he also has one really good one, I think, where he looks like an old school mobster. Suit, tie, fedora, he looks good. Then we have a few for Stitch, in which this one just looks menacing, each getting a little bit more grungy, a little bit more darker, but likely progressing through that battle pass. There's a few operator cosmetics that you can't really tell who they are due to masks and other features, but are a few really cool ones as well. There's a biker skin, like a racing biker skin. There's a clown mask skin in a suit and tie. Think the opening sequence of Nolan's Dark Knight or Payday, and that's what you've got here with that. There's a CDL launch pack, which looks awesome. A black and white split hoodie design here with this one. There's a skin that reminds me of the engineer class from World War II with the goggles and hat. And then there's a skin that I would imagine is for Adler because of the paracord draped over him like Adler's model has. But it looks incredible if you ask me. It's got a black and red uniform on with a ski mask over top and goggles that look straight out of Splinter Cell to me. But we also have the intro sequences for Zayna, Bulldozer, and Stitch, the 3 new operators we'll be seeing throughout the entire season, 2 likely coming in a paid format just like Modern Warfare, and then Stitch being in the Battle Pass. There are a few things for vehicle skins, which there really wasn't a ton, so we can kind of breeze through these. There were new Vaporwave designs for the Hilo and the boat, and then a few smaller designs for the snowmobile and dirt bike. One thing that we didn't see a ton of information around, but I had some images associated with it, was some prestige-related items. It looks like there's a few classic prestige icons spanning the Black Ops games and their prestige systems, but also a few new ones that as well could be specific to the upcoming seasonal prestige system. We'll have to wait to see more on that one. But outside of that, there's a few things that are still noteworthy, even though that kind of clears the big categories of what we had displayed in the game files. On the discussion of a battle pass, a few people have reported that they'll be taken to the purchase battle pass screen when their game crashes, or they're booted to the main menu in some instances. And for this, it's identical in format to Modern Warfare's formatting, as I'm sure you could probably guess, given how much is actually similar between the two games, likely just to be that unified experience across multiple games. But it will still be that same pricing, assuming nothing changes from when people have seen this, where it's 1,000 COD points for the base entry to the battle pass and 2,400 COD points for the pass entry plus 20 additional tiers. Now, considering this, things like your Ultimate Edition should have you covered for Season 1 if you choose to redeem it then, but that'll be available in Season 1 also. We also have other things in the UI that will indicate how the shop looks as well, to which, again, it's just like Modern Warfare's shop bundle previews, with the tiles to the right, the title and the price to the left, but instead of a blue backdrop, it's a darker gray to lighter gray radial gradients behind the cards and text. There's also a handful of other things like what looks to be tier skips or progressional icons. There's a flaming XP icon, which I'm not entirely sure what that would be for. There's a cassette tape icon listed as Black Ops 1 mixtape, likely an earnable war track in the battle pass. There's a loading screen image for prop hunt. There's a few new execution previews that include a sledgehammer and choking someone out. And then there's also some zombies holiday images with Santa hats on zombies and antlers on the plague hounds' heads. So that's a lot of stuff that we learned here out of what was supposedly just a quality of life update. Personally, I honestly thought that we'd get a bulk of the Season 1 stuff introduced as of the update on the 15th, the day before it goes live, so as to, again, avoid any of these spoilers that could be coming out, but seems that's not the case. Or maybe we get even more on the 15th, so that this actually is kind of launch 2.0. But for the time being, that's what we have here, and that's everything we learned. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think here of this? Are you guys looking forward to Season 1? Are you looking forward to anything in particular that we talked about here out of these leaks? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related, especially as we ramp up to Season 1. So if you're interested, hit that subscribe button. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.